this is how I'm making it happen. I can honestly think a vision board for the salary that I have today. Hi guys, in this video I'm gonna walk you step by step in 3 different phases, easy phases, how you can actually create a life that you're happy with. 2025 is right around the corner, and as many of you, I don't want this year to be one of those years that you just make a huge list of everything that you want to accomplish, everything you want to become, you want to have, you want to attract into your life. December 2025 turns around, you completed, let's say, 2 out of all the goals that you had for the year. And we're not gonna be unrealistic, we're not gonna also demand too much of ourselves. First of all, get this across, you are enough. That's the message of this video. You're already enough. The person that you are right now is the person that is going to take you to achieve everything that we're gonna set out to achieve in this video. Congratulations to you, because you're already that person. So let's get that out of the way. I'm gonna leave you here an index of everything that we're gonna talk through. If at any point I am yapping too much or just want to skip ahead and get straight to the point, completely up to you. I'll leave the timestamps here as well as in the description down below, so you can just jump ahead and see all the different points, make your little list, and start planning ahead for this new year. I'm gonna keep it as easy to do as possible. It's not gonna be, you need to take a whole week to do this intensive program of rebranding and restructuring every little bit, piece, and corner of your life. This video is gonna be structured in 3 phases. Go past, present, and future. Think the Scrooge movie. If you have never watched that, please go and watch it. I know that Christmas is already over, but it's a great Christmas classic movie. Honestly, I love it with all my heart. It made my entire childhood. But anyways, if you haven't seen that movie, it's basically this really bitter old man, was not really into the Christmas spirit, has 3 different ghosts, the ghosts from the past, present, and future, show him his life, basically. Like his past life, how his life was in the present, and his future life. And what his future life was going to look like if he didn't change directions, change approach, change angles and strategies when it came to his life. We're gonna think of this video as the Scrooge movie, pretty much. We're gonna start out with the past, because we're gonna reflect on this past year. We cannot fully check in with ourselves today and plan for tomorrow if we don't know our history, if we don't know what has been going on with ourselves this year, perhaps even these past 5 years. We cannot go on if we don't know our own history. What goals did you set out for 2024? If you set any. If you didn't set any, what would you have liked your 2024 to have been like? Or what did you perhaps spend the entirety of 2024 trying to make happen? What were the common themes in your 2024? If you didn't set out goals. If you did set out goals, then have a look at the goals that you set out and be honest with yourself. Don't be harsh. I'm saying be honest. Be honest with yourselves. Of those did you make happen? Which ones of those did you not make happen because perhaps your priorities changed throughout the year? Perhaps you forgot. Things never really aligned for that to happen. It was a bit outside of your control and it just never happened. I don't know if you've heard of this ever, but discipline and actually being able to rely on yourself and what you tell yourself that you're gonna do, that you're gonna set out, that I would say is one of the ultimate acts of self-love. Because we're gonna end on a positive note. We're gonna start with the not so positive ones. We're gonna start with the negatives. What did you not achieve? Priorities change, or what did you forget that you even set out at the beginning of 2024 and now you're like, what the hell, I didn't even remember that I was trying to make that happen. Why didn't that happen? You can say it out loud, you can say it to yourself, you can write it down, whatever it is. If you have your goals written down on a piece of paper, just write next to it, this did not happen because I forgot about it, because I broke my leg and I couldn't make it happen, because I struggled with this and that, and it was just too much on my plate. We'll leave them for now. Now we're gonna focus on the things that you did make happen, and you made things happen. I don't care if from the list that you had, you think, oh my gosh, I didn't accomplish any of this. A year is a long time, and I'm sure that you still made a lot of things happen for yourself. Even if it was just getting out of bed because you were going through a really rough patch and you just got out of bed for the entire year and you made that happen. You are here on all the positive things to show yourself some compassion. Let's not be overindulgent as well. Let's not lie to ourselves, but also let's be compassionate. You have what you did make happen, what you did not make happen. I want you to write 12 things that you're grateful for this year. Be anything. We're doing 12 because it's one per month. That's so little. And I say this with all the love, but you're not in a position to receive more things, to receive new things, and to attract more things if you are not grateful in your present life. Grateful will get you in the right mindset to actually make things happen, to actually attract all the positive, all the great opportunities that you want to attract. And this is not to get out like woo-woo or anything, because if you don't believe in spirituality and energy, it doesn't even have to do with that. It has to do with rewiring your brain to see the positive and to see the opportunities, to see where the gaps are and where you might be able to add value, where you might be able to squeeze in and start growing. It doesn't have to do with spirituality if you don't believe in that, or if you don't want it to have anything to do with that. It's all about your attitude. Because someone that is negative, someone that is always looking at what's wrong with everything, things happen. It's just gonna find more excuses and more obstacles as to why not to pursue something, why not to make something happen, why not grow, or even just self-sabotage yourself all the time. And I know it's harder said than done. I am a negative person in recovery. We have looked at the things we didn't achieve, we have looked at the things we achieved, and now we're saying thank you. Thank you for all of it. Even for the things I didn't achieve, they have made me realize what I need to focus on in the next year. They have made me realize that perhaps I need to have a bit more discipline. We know where we came from, we know how our behavior was like this year, our weak spots and our strengths. Now we can move on to the present. We're only gonna do two things. We're gonna have a look at those two lists that you made, the goals you didn't achieve and the goals you achieved. I want you to really sit with yourself, can and like to meditate for a bit, ground yourself, perhaps go on a little nature walk, or just spend some time looking at the wall, to be honest. Try and quiet anything else that's going on in your life, that's going on in your mind. I want you to really be centered into yourself, into who you are, into what you're feeling right now. Okay, so first things, ground ourselves. The second thing I want you to do, I want you to go through the entire list, the good and the bad, what you achieved and what you didn't achieve. Just see line by line which of those you would like to have in your life right now. Which of those align with the priorities in your life right now. And this is where the grounding that I mentioned and just being really real and centered with yourself comes in. And I was guilty of doing this for years. Honestly, it's only this year that I have been able to move past this and have this like realization. So many of us set goals for ourselves just because we think it will look good. Saying that we achieved that thing will sound good to other people. Just because we think that if we post about it on social media, oh my gosh, it's gonna look like I have my entire life together. I'm gonna look so cool. I'm gonna look so productive. I'm gonna look so on top of my life that I have my shit together. Get your goals. Imagine if you had everything written down on those pages. Imagine if you actually achieved all of it. Ones of those would you go, okay, great, I achieved it. One thing off the list. Would you actually be like, oh my god, I can't believe I have this in my life. I am so happy. It brings me so much joy every day in my life. Which ones of those would bring you happiness if you had them right here, right now? There's a follow-up question to this. Which ones of these would only make you happy if other people knew about? Which ones of these would still make you happy even if you could never tell or show anyone that you achieved this? Look at the list and tell me. Tell to yourself, tell me, leave it in the comments, whatever you want. But like, which ones of these goals, go one by one, if you had them today and you couldn't tell anyone, you couldn't show it to anyone, show it off with your family, with your friends, no one. Only you would know that you have that it's in your life, and you would never be able to tell or show anyone. Which ones would make you actually happy? And I will leave it at that, because that will allow you to actually prioritize what you want your life to be. Where you want your energy and your time to go into this new coming year. Because guys, nowadays we're bombarded with information, we're bombarded with so many things. All of us are honestly struggling to just make time to do things that we love, or just things that you think you want because perhaps others have told you that you want them, or you see others having them and it looks cool and it looks like they have their life together, so I want that as well. But perhaps what you're seeking is not the thing itself, it's more the feeling of having your life together. You're never gonna be happy with your life or what you're trying to achieve, and it's never gonna feel genuine. And honestly, it might never happen for you because it might just not be your path. This is my favorite part. Write down SMART goals. Single one of the goals that you set out for yourself this new year, you can't just say like, I want to exercise more. You can't just write exercise more. No, you need to be really specific. What is it gonna take? Perhaps you have always loved running. Not the case with me, but perhaps you've always loved running. Something really specific, really measurable and achievable will be, okay, I want to run a half marathon. It's realistic for you. Okay, so there you have a really specific goal that you want to achieve by the end of 2025. What you go and do is you find yourself looking up online marathons near your city, near where you live, and you sign yourself up for that. There you go, you have an incentive. You have probably paid for registration, so you spent money on it already. You have a deadline because the marathon will take place on a specific date. And now what you can do is come up with a plan to like, okay, let's say I'm gonna run 3 times a week. And that's how I'm gonna prepare for the half marathon. Moving on. So we have set our clear, achievable, realistic goals. Be realistic on what you can achieve. A year, I know it seems like a long time, but at the same time, it flies by. You don't want to put too much pressure on yourself, and you want to make it really intentional, as I said. Now comes the really fun part, in my opinion, which is creating your vision board. Changing your identity. Crucial if you actually want to achieve everything. Vision boards can actually break those limiting beliefs that you might have, those self-sabotaging tendencies. Now, I'm not gonna say they're gonna do the whole work for you, because you also need to spend some time with yourself and work on breaking those limiting beliefs, breaking that little voice that tells you, what do you mean you can't make any more money, you don't know enough, you're not prepared enough, that inner critic that is just so negative, and it seems like it doesn't want you to succeed ever, and it's just filling you up with doubt and criticism and all of that. We don't want that. We don't want that in this new year. Vision boards come in super handy, because if you do them the right way, and I'm thinking I may do a separate video for this because this video is going to be super long already. I'm still going to give you pointers here, but if you do them the right way, vision boards can actually help you not only see the ideal life that you want to create for yourself, not only that, most importantly, it helps you normalize it in your head. A really quick overview on vision boards. Based on the goals that you wrote down and your priorities for this year, just go online, or even into your camera roll or Photoshop, whatever it is that you want, depends all on your skills, how much time do you want to dedicate to this. But basically gather photos and visual cues. It can also be quotes, like a picture of quotes or like little text on top of everything that represents the goals and the life that you want to have. Try and make them as specific and as close and real to you as you can. Summarize 2 tricks to hack your vision boards. One hand. Pick pictures that really get as specific as they can and like as visually as specific and representative as you can find for every one of your goals. Make sure you cover everything, all the areas, all the goals that you set out to, and they truly represent that goal. Energy behind that goal, the emotion, because perhaps confident in yourself. So that's very abstract. How do you find a picture that represents confidence? Well, what I did was look up pictures of Marilyn Monroe, of Julia Roberts. They're known for exuding confidence, exuding charm. Pictures of them that actually communicate to you confidence, that actually communicate to you charm. Be intentional with what you put in your vision board. It has to make you feel something. If it's just a pretty picture that means nothing to you, do not include it. Do not include it just because it looks cute. Is to make it as close or as similar to the things you have seen or the life you know as possible. What I mean by this is you need to try and trick your brain as much as you can. Brain, your eyes, see the vision board. They kind of go like, this looks familiar, this could be you, this kind of looks like you. That is key. So what I do all the time when I'm doing my vision board is actually only, or try to only, because obviously if I'm in Marilyn Monroe in my vision board, she doesn't look like me. Try to only include pictures of people that sort of look like you. Blondes or light brunettes when it comes to my vision board. I just go for black or really dark brown haired people. I want my brain to think that's me. Could have been a picture from my camera roll. That's what you want to do. You want to trick your brain. It already associates with you. This is crucial. You need to put your vision board somewhere where you're gonna see it every day. Such a great tool if you have constant exposure to your vision board. What I do with mine is I have this sitting in my vanity where I have all my perfumes, where I have my jewelry. It's the final step whenever I'm getting ready for the day, for going out, for whatever. This is literally like the artwork piece in my vanity. So whenever I'm finishing up getting ready, which is actually, I think, such a great place to put it. If you don't have a vanity, don't worry. This can go in your nightstand or whatever it's best for you. It's like ideal life there for you to see every time you get ready and you're putting in work into yourself. I think there's such a synergy between this vision of your ideal life and you working on yourself, you getting ready, you making yourself feel better, even if it's just putting on perfume. Or keep seeing what your past self set out for yourself this year and just be like, all right, I'm working towards that. This is gonna happen. I am making this happen. Beginning, when you set out your goals, they may seem so far away and something that you're gonna achieve throughout the year that you're like, yeah, it's gonna happen someday. But like, today I'm still me. No, this helps you get used to seeing that, life. And little by little, your brain is gonna start to normalize that, and it's gonna start seeking actually like opportunities to make this stuff happen. Really help it get used to that reality that you want to make yours. And once it doesn't seem like such a crazy dream to have and such a crazy vision and crazy goals that seem so far away, once it becomes more normal for your mind, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna make that happen. I'm gonna take this opportunity. I'm gonna make this connection. I'm gonna go here and here because this vision that you had is becoming more and more real, more and more normal for you to see as real and as tangible. The key thing here is not to make a pretty collage filled with Pinterest pictures and it's super aesthetic and I just love it and just love creating it. Yeah, that's perfectly great because it's great that you're putting that really joyful energy into creating this, and that's fantastic. But that's not all there is. It's not create it and leave it. No, Leave it somewhere that you're gonna see it every day, that your brain is gonna be like, okay, this is the life that we're working for. It will even help you, it will even help remind you to do check-ins for your goals. Because when you see it, you're gonna be like, oh gosh, where are my goals? Little personal story that will show you why this like exposure therapy to your vision board helps so much. Got paid more because of my vision board. Some of the things that I included there were that I wanted financial freedom, but I included, and I was very specific on the salary that I saw myself having. Time goes by, and less than a year from when I got my grad job, opportunities came up within my role where I got more and more responsibilities and I got put in charge of more and more things. Like 6 or 7 months into this new job, I got offered a promotion. I say, well, you got that promotion on your own, not because of your vision board, because you were doing, I don't know, like and whatever. Yes, that's true. My vision board to remind me of the person that I wanted to be every day and how I wanted to show up to my work, to my personal life, to everything. Help you kind of keep you aligned to the values and the identity that you want for yourself. Where the vision board came in was that I actually had a meeting after I got told that I was getting promoted with my boss, and we were gonna review everything, and that's where we were gonna talk about how much like was gonna be the salary increase and everything. And mind you, this was my first job straight out of uni. I had done internships before, but internships are always with a set salary, with a set parameter, or the ones that I did at least. There was no room for negotiation. You're in that moment, job straight out of uni, you get really intimidated. It's hard to ask for more. It's hard to talk about these money subjects. At least for me, it is. And I know that for a lot of people it is. Even if you say, like I did, no, I would ask for more. When you're in that position, sometimes you just get intimidated. I was having that review call with my manager. We were talking about salary, and she obviously like had already come to the call with a salary figure in mind. Slightly short. It wasn't by a huge amount, but it fell slightly short from the amount that I had on my vision board. Now, I didn't only have it in like my physical vision board, I had it as my desktop laptop as well. So I would see it every day when I was about to log into work, just because I kept seeing that number. And I was like, oh, I just want to achieve it. I just want that to be my reality now. With a really shaky voice. I was super scared. I was super nervous. I was super anxious. But I negotiated my salary. Obviously had like done a bit of research to see if this like number in my vision board was not like a crazy ask for someone in my role and in my position and with my amount of experience. Back this up why I was asking for this, but the only reason why I did that research to back that number up was because I really wanted that number, was because I saw that number in my vision board and I was like, I feel like I deserve it. I've been looking at it for so long, I just want to make it happen. If I hadn't had that in my vision board, I would have been happy with whatever raise I was getting. I mean, I was getting a raise less than a year after I started working my first full-time job ever. I would have been grateful either way, but I literally just asked it because I had it in my vision board. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this happen. And then the opportunity came up and I was like, this is how I'm making it happen. Reach the point of normalizing that vision. And then you're like, you know what? I'm tired of not having this. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna ask for it. I'm gonna make it happen some way because I keep seeing it and I want to see it here. So I'm gonna make it happen some way. And that, my friends, is why I really love vision boards. I can honestly thank a vision board for the salary that I have today. Well, that's where I leave you guys. This is a really long video and I don't want to make it longer. Let me know if you want to see step video on creating vision boards. I know there are tons out there. I have some tips and tricks and hacks. Happy 2025 everyone, and I hope it's the best year of your life yet.